plan to sign Dez to the practice squad.
I love this. Isn't Dez Bryant one of those guys you want to root for? I love how they handled this whole season. You know, they brought him in, they tried him out. He wasn't in shape. He had no pop. They say, you know what, go back, work your tail off, and if you get in shape, we'll bring you back. And that's what he's done. I've been following Dez Bryant, and I just thought at the beginning of the year, it was over. And then every week, he's getting better and better, and he's being consistent. One of the hardest things to do as an athlete is to stay in it when you're not in it. So hats off to Dez Bryant. I really like this. I think Greg Roman will find a way to get this guy involved. All you got to do is just throw it up. It's like that shot, right? Like you never miss that. That back shoulder, it's still there. Just one-on-one, Lamar, just throw it to Dez. He'll help you out. He'll get that passing game going.
Wow.
All right, moving on. Ball is life, Wilds.
Look, the Nets need to sign Michael Beasley, Kevin Durant's childhood friend, right now. We never got a chance to see him in the bubble because he came down with COVID, so I'm happy to see him healthy. 2, as a Lululemon fan myself, I support any basketball player who goes the full way and wears yoga pants to play. 3, he invented something new here. Everybody knows about trash talking. He goes with trash yelling at John Wall because he's savvy enough to know that John Wall can play cards and do an interview at the same time, so trash talking won't work. He'll be able to multitask and still play. You got to trash yell, so the intensity of Michael Beasley is just such a heads-up move. Sean Marks needs to sign him immediately, Nick.
Well, if Katie tells him to, he will.
Gold.
Yeah, so listen, November 18th is the NBA draft, so I was doing a little draft prep yesterday and came across an Ethan Sherwood-Strauss column. I'm like, oh, he's plugged into the Warriors. Wonder what he says the Warriors are going to do. I'm old enough to remember that number 2 pick plus Wiggins was going to be in play for Giannis, or at the very least Bradley Beal. This is how the Warriors return to prominence. And then I see Sherwood says, oh, they might have fallen in love with a prospect named Deni Avdija. So I said, who the hell is that? So I went to my friend Kevin O'Connor's mock draft, and I found this fella. Now, to his credit, he did win MVP of the Israeli League. He gave you around 4 points a game in the Euro League. And I was just all of a sudden overcome with a sense of warmth and satisfaction. Because all of the pipe dreams of, no, there's going to be another star in Golden State. You know what those dreams are you're going to wake up and see? Deni Avdija as the 9th man on the team saying, Coach, in 4 years, I might be able to help you out. And that is what the number 2 pick and throwing a season away like Golden State did last year is going to net them. And I'm excited to see how it works out for all involved.
What does that smell? Oh, that smells like sarcasm. Hey, guys, is there a better play that summarizes the NFC East this season than this gem from Danny Dimes right here from last night? You can't see it enough. Look, we know what happened. What we don't really know is why. So every morning I'll pull back the curtain. We have a 5 a.m. Zoom call. I'm on with the producers a little earlier than my colleagues jump on. So I asked them, without them realizing I was writing it down, I was like, why do you guys think this happened to Daniel Jones? So let me just read you. First guy, Dusty, our statistician, says, these are honest-to-God answers. Didn't know I was writing it down. Well, you could see the top half of his body was leaning too far forward. It was improper running form. Chimes in with this. He was too wide open. You can't run with that much open field. He was speaking from a psychological standpoint. But the cake goes to Hubs. Hubs, our heralded producer, says, well, obviously, Daniel Jones was tanking for Trevor. He doesn't want to play for the Giants anymore. Let's lose games, bring in Trevor, and Danny Dimes is out. Daniel Jones with the best and the worst play of the night last night. I love our team so much.
Leave the glasses on,
it's
Jenna.
all the material I
Jenna,
need.
the glasses look good. Leave the glasses on.
Yeah, but if I leave the glasses on, I read all the correct words. All right, let's talk the big NFC West showdown this weekend. Oh, wow, I am putting them on. Look at all these words I never saw. Russell Wilson and the undefeated Seahawks traveling to Arizona to take on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. It's going to be a fun one. So both quarterbacks coming into this season with MVP hopes. Russ appears to be running away with it, though. 19 touchdowns, 3 picks, as his Seahawks remain one of 3 undefeated teams left in the NFL. And Brandon, I know you love the Seahawks this year. Don't count out Kyler Murray, though. Do you think the Seahawks should be on upset alert? 3.5-point road favorites against the Cardinals in this one.
I'm not going to count them out. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this time to get ahead of the story. So, yes, the Seahawks should be scared. This team is dangerous. This team can come in and easily get this win. I hate to say it, but I'm going to try to get ahead of this story right now, okay? Because I picked the Seattle Seahawks to win the Super Bowl, and I've been high on the Seahawks from day one. I still believe in them, but this team is dangerous. And then you got to look at this dynamic. On the offensive side, Kyler Murray and this team can do it all. He can run the ball. They can run the ball. He has, you know, D-Hop. He has Larry, the old man wonder, Larry Fitzgerald that's still getting it done. And then on the defensive side over there in Seattle, they are the worst in the league. So when you have those guys on that side that's so dynamic and so dangerous, you have to be scared. You have to be a little bit wary. But I know they'll have their mindset right. So guys, come on, let's go. This is not the week to do it.
Brandon. My friend, you picked Seattle.
I know. I'm getting ahead of the story.
You picked. No, hold on. You picked Russ to win league MVP, and yesterday on this very show, you made quite the bold proclamation that I think you thought I was going to let slide, but I was just waiting for today. You said Seattle also has the best wide receiver in the NFL in DK Metcalf. So why should they ever be on upset alert? The Cardinals, yeah, they looked great against the Cowboys. Kyler completed 9 passes total in that game. So I believe the Cardinals should be on upset, or the Seahawks should be on upset alert. I believe the Seahawks have been playing with fire all year. That they damn near lost to the Patriots, came down to a yard. They needed a 4th down conversion to beat the Cowboys, and they should have lost to the Vikings. That 4th and inches play is still giving me nightmares. Last leg of a money line parlay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Vikings offensive line. But So I agree Seattle should be on upset alert, even though I'm not as high on Arizona as some. I am shocked that you are opening the possibility, though, that what do you think it's going to take to beat Seattle? 50 points? Got the best wide receiver, the best quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, but you also got D-Hop, who can also be in that conversation as the best wide receiver. And you got Kyler Murray. He looks like is he Patrick Mahomes with a mix of Michael Vick? Like, this dude does some things on the field that we haven't seen before. He's shaking guys 2 or 3 times in one play, in one move. So, yes, I am a little nervous. And Seattle should be nervous because when you see what they have on that defensive side, it's nothing. It's nothing. They have nobody to slow these guys down. This is a bad defense. This is not the Seattle Seahawks of old. This is not the Legion of Boom. Richard Sherman is not walking in that door to stop these guys.
Brandon, we know that you're trying to have some take integrity here. You know that Seattle's defense gives up 471 yards per game. Through 5 games, they've given up 2,356 total yards. It's the most since when? Does anybody know? Bueller, Class, maybe greatest show on turf, maybe Tom Brady? Nope.
Give it to
1950.
Me.
The 1950 Colts, who went 1-11 and lost their final game to a team called the New York Yankees, who are a baseball team. The New York Yankees came out and beat them. And they're giving up 370 air yards. They're horrible. They're horrible. And poor Mike Nolan is like, why are you guys always banging on me? Seattle's got the worst defense in the world. They're so bad, Dan Quinn might come in and ride to the rescue to save their defense. So, Brandon, we know that you picked them. Just be honest, and don't try to have take integrity like Nick. I got to stick with my pick no matter what.
No, let him explain
Who wins this game?
Who wins this game? I'm just trying to get ahead of the story, guys. I'm still going to pick Seattle. I'm still
ahead of the what?
You are picking Seattle.
Because, you are picking Seattle,
but you wouldn't be shocked if Arizona
come in here Monday. They moved the game to Sunday Night Football. Arizona, this is back-to-back primetime games. It's just a perfect storm. When's the last time a team went undefeated, Wilds, right? Like, it just doesn't happen all the time. I know your team did it in the regular season, but before then it just doesn't happen. This is the game. This is the game.
I think, because I get the point, you're a little boxed in and fighting yourself out of the corner, so I understand what's happening here. Gun to your head, you would pick Seattle. but you would not be shocked if Arizona puts up 450 yards, 38 points, and wins. So I want to kind of move the conversation forward in a different way, because I said, I think around week 3, you know who the 2020 Seattle Seahawks are? They're the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs, a team whose offense cannot be slowed down, whose quarterback is going to win league MVP, but whose defense ultimately will be their undoing. So my question to you is, from the numbers Wilds gave, are these defensive problems fixable? Is it as simple as Jamal Adams hasn't been playing, they gave up a boatload of picks for him, let him get there, add some toughness, or is this, as great as Russ in the offense has been, in the back of your mind as someone that did pick him to go to the Super Bowl, is it a massive concern, or is it just a slight concern?
No, it's a massive concern. I mean, you can't fix this, and there's a couple problems here. Number one, you just don't have the players. They're banged up. They can't get pressure on the quarterback. Irvin went down early in the season. They already had some issues. They let Clowney go. And then on the back end, they do the same thing. Since Pete Carroll has come into the NFL, he's done the same thing. Like, I still have notebooks on notebooks of how to beat this defense. So when you think about them going into this bye week, because they're coming off a bye, most teams sit back and say, okay, let's fix these issues. They can't fix them. One, because they don't have the personnel, and two, he's not going to change his scheme. Every once in a while, they may throw in a corner blitz. Every once in a while, they may bring a safety, but for the most part, they're playing cover 3 zone. They're playing man. That's what they do. And you can literally, you can make them do what you want them to do. If you go 3-by-1 on 3rd down and you want to put Tyreek Hill at that 3 position, pretty much the extended tight end, and take him on a big crossing route, he's going to be matched up against who? KJ Wright. Everyone in the NFL does it. So they're too predictable, and they don't have the personnel.
Maybe Antonio Brown is not
I used Tyreek as an example because that's the team that blew the top off. That's right.
Daniel Jones went for a run last night. It was a long, fast, incredible run, right up until the point where he stopped running. And that, my friends, is the NFC East. This is First Things First.
Danny,